Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's good to be here. The day is beautiful. Look at how beautiful that morning sky is today. I love it when it's a little cloudy here. All right, today we're going to talk about empaths. Have you heard people say, I'm just really empathic, I feel everybody's emotions? Those of you who do not have that skill set, it makes no sense to. For those who do have that skill set, it's like, oh my gosh, yes, and I didn't even ask for that skill set because sometimes that can be rough. What I want you to know, the whole community, is that being an empath is real. Emotions are energy in motion, and they have movement. So this is why when you're really angry, it feels so good to punch something or yell or whatever. You're trying to actually discharge the emotion. When we are super sad, what do? We cry. We have a good cry. And it feels so good when we've moved that energy, and it feels stifling when we don't. It's just energy in motion. If you ever watched kids, they actually don't restrain the emotion. They cry when they need to. They laugh, they play, they get scared. They actually feel. We are taught to not feel. We're taught not to feel. And that's not kind of a normal thing. We've taught that it's unsafe to give our heart. Why? Because our heart has an energy about it. So connecting back in and trying to figure out when you feel is a big deal. But there are some people, guys, they're empathic. What happens is that energy in motion, it's like they've got super receptors and they pick up on that energetic vibration frequency, if you will. They pick it up and they feel it. They feel it with you. And it can be dangerous to be outside. It can be dangerous to be around people because you just feel. It's not like it's a choice. It's just you feel everybody and everything. And you're right. It's not necessarily a choice. It's a gift. But there are ways to put up some boundaries so that you are safe emotionally. So first thing is just to know feelings are energy in motion. That's all it is. And it's real. There are some people who are empathic with pets and animals, like they can feel what they're feeling. Had a friend this week who was telling about her empathic son who brings the dragon, the bearded dragon, says what the bearded dragon is feeling. She used to dismiss it, and now she's like, yeah, there's something to this kid. So here's another thing. Those of you who have empathic children, that can be a hot mess, right? Because they feel everything about everything. Okay, step one. When you come upon an empath and you say, just let it go. You shouldn't be feeling. Why do you care? It doesn't work, guys. It's like you breathe and you feel. Good morning. I have learned that it's a gift. Okay, so going back to empaths, you can walk into a room and have no idea who people are, and you can feel what they're feeling, right? Like you can sense who in the room is having a bad day. You can sense who's okay. You're always drawn to the ones who's having a bad day. This is what happens a lot of times with empaths, is that other people who are having kind of lower vibration emotions and that energy is exuding from them, they will gravitate towards the empath. It's almost like a magnet, right? They will gravitate towards the empath because when they leave the empath space, they feel better. Why? Because some of their energy has been absorbed by someone else and their burden is lighter. I used to then take that and I would spiral into depression. I would be taking all sorts of negative energy from all sorts of people, and it wasn't a choice. there would be a lot of times where I'd sit and I'd talk with people for a long time and empathize, right? Be an empath who was there and empathetic. Yeah, that's you, huh? Yeah. So I would get depressed. I would get down. I would see the yuck of the world, and I would fight my way to see all of the positive. And I'd pray, and I'd read scripture, and I'd tell the good things, and I would sink into depression, especially when people that were close around me were experiencing things. So this one morning, I was out. I like mornings. I was out by a reservoir that we lived by, and I was just meditating. And I would always feel better if I was by the lake. I would always feel better just being in nature, being on the ground, meditating. And I was kind of pondering this depression stuff, and I got this beautiful insight into the fact that it's not a flaw. It's not a weakness. I'm not broken. I was told, that if you're depressed and whatever, that's a problem that's you, and everybody else can handle their emotions and you can't handle yours, and all of that was going on. And I was able to connect to my divine self and realize that that was two things. Number one, an agreement that I had about my role on earth, and it was also a gift. It was a gift with a purpose. Trying to decide whether to go into this or not. I have a very, very close relationship with Christ, but kind of in a different way, I guess. He very literally feels like my brother. He did that, right? He took on other people's emotions to shift them. And what I heard in this meditation is you are a gift. You are a gift to this world. People are lighter when they are around you. They gravitate towards you because of that. And you are not required to keep it when you absorb a negative thing. And I'm like, what in the world does that mean? Well, there are people who get negative emotions, and what do? Bam, they charge it back out. And they just dump the anger that they're feeling back out into the world. And the betrayal, they dump it out into the world. And there's something to be said for being able to talk to somebody who's safe. That's actually really important, right? But they just leave the energy that's around. A lot of empaths naturally keep it in. They don't discharge. That's what makes them sink. And so what I discovered and learned is that, yes, I will naturally absorb energy from other people. That is an agreement. That is a gift. That is some kind of role that I have on this earth to do to help lift hearts and help them be more joyful. And I do not have to be destroyed by it. So here's some ways to discharge. Water conducts energy. Water conducts negative energy. It takes it from your body. I know that sounds weird, but if energy is literally moving, then it can move out of your physical frame. It can move. And so I found that when I was really depressed, I didn't know why. I was physically depressed. I would draw to the bath. I would like hot baths. And I learned that is actually a tactic, something to do. So another thing that takes that negative energy from you is the earth. So gravity is a thing. What we're supposed to be doing is receiving all the good stuff from the top of our head into our heart, and all the negative stuff we can give to Mother Earth. There's a pull, right? And so grounding can be just get your feet into the ground. What I love is to actually play in the dirt. Like if my hands are in the dirt, I just feel better. I like weeding. Weeding discharges things from me. working, planting, walking in nature will take that negative energy for you. I think that's why I love to walk in the morning so much, is because I actually wake up a lot of mornings with a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of self-esteem things that came upon me in the middle of the night. And whether that's serotonin dropping or if it's some other thing my subconscious is working out, if I get up and I move my body and I'm outside, it's delightful and it lifts me. So that's another thing that can be done. You may be empathic. You are not required to hold all of the emotions of others. So I just want you to know that Christ came so that you don't have to suffer. He is their God. You are not. And yet, there is something that you do on this earth. And it's okay that you do it. Just learn how to work with him and shift it. Right? And then the boundaries. Part of the reason why I teach the feelings jar skill, the what would you love to feel, or when's the last time you felt a thing? So I don't do it as much anymore, but I have done personal one-on-one mentoring and helping people shift these things. If you want a one-on-one with me, please let me know. I have a few spots that I do that with people to help them learn how to do this. But I'm just going to teach you something. So you know how I do the feelings chart? I say, like today, when's the last time you felt welcomed? The reason why I do that is because when we are so heavy with an emotion, because we've just left somebody and we haven't been able to discharge yet, we can shift it. When I would do sessions with people and personal mentoring and stuff, I would get really heavy. People would feel fantastic when they would leave me and our session was over. They would always be lifted and lighter, and they'd come to me and go, oh my gosh, it's been a week, I need to be with you again. But being that empath, I could have let that destroy me and my family. Because if I'm, especially if I got, a lot of really yucky energy because of somebody's experience that was just tragic, I could be then the rest of the night sitting in that heavy. So what I learned to do is kind of zip it off. Two things. I would say, Lord, I just stood with your daughter. I just stood with your son. These things were heavy. I can feel them in my body. I feel that I've taken them. I'm asking you to shift that energy of the emotion. I sacrifice it to you. I'm giving it to you. I know it's not mine to carry. And I know that you are the one who has the right to it. And so that was the thing. If that is very difficult, because maybe your relationship with God isn't really close, like sometimes we can blame him, right? All of my yucky bad days, I'm doing all of the really good, and I'm sweet, and I'm kind, and I'm showing up for people, and he's not showing up for me. Yeah, I've been pissed at God like that. Totally mad. Guess what? He can handle it. But number two is that I didn't know I could give it to him. I didn't know that that's what he desired more than anything, for me to give him my negative stuff. So sometimes the emotion is so heavy, I can't shift it out. So this is what you do. You go into what would you love to feel. So say I'm in my office, doors are shut. I've just had maybe 3 appointments, 3 or 4, taken on a lot of stuff in that time. And I envision going out and having some dinner and maybe sitting in a movie, watching a movie with my husband. I don't want all the sad, all the anger, all the stuff. Why? Because it's energetically going to grab him, right? Yeah, I need to transmute that. If I can't get to a bath, if I can't get to the ground and I still got this stuff, what do? Well, you envision, what would I love to feel right now? Okay, I would love to feel connected. I would love to feel free. I would love to feel just peaceful clarity. I would love to feel supported by God. And so what I would do is before I'd walk out of that office, I would say, okay, when's the last time that I felt like free, like happy and free? When's the last time I felt truly connected to Tom or to the kids? And I would allow myself the time and space to go into that memory and let the emotion from the memory generate and come up in me and give me all of the good feels and all of the things that I needed, so that when I walked out of the room, I left all of the energetic, emotional stuff that I'd taken, I left it in the room. And I would walk out and it would be totally okay. Here's the big thing. You are so, so kind to other people. You feel them, you love them, you want so much for them to be okay. You want to help them and not have them be sad in the level that you feel their sadness, or angry, or judgmental, or critical, or you don't want them disappointed, all of the things you don't want them to experience. You naturally take it, so just know you're already helping them, and you are not required to fix them, and you are not required to keep what you have received. You are that you might have joy, not all the pain of the world. And this was a big deal for me. It got to the point where I couldn't take the pain of the world anymore. I remember having a moment where I just felt incredibly homesick. Like, not suicidal, just can the pain stop? Like, so empathic that it's really hard for me to watch sporting events. I see the loneliness, I feel it. I also feel when I'm driving, sometimes I can feel a person who passes me, and I have no idea, I've never met them in my life, but I can feel this thing. And so that's when I turn to prayer, but I'm asking God to take it. Here's the thing, I couldn't stay on the earth. It was so hard. And so my body is always going to support me in what I feel. My body always supports what I am feeling, what my deepest desire is. And I had a desire to go home. Not suicide, just go home. 6 years ago, last March, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. My body was supporting me in my wounds of this world. So the problem was, I was diagnosed on a Monday. Tuesday, I saw the breast surgeon. Wednesday, I flew out to St. George, Utah to be a grandma for the first time. It was awesome, and I was frustrated because I'm like, oh. First of all, I was scared with cancer and all the things that happen in that, but a friend of mine told me what she has discovered is that a lot of people, not children, but a lot of people, adults who have cancer, there is a death wish somewhere in their life. I know exactly when mine happened. I know exactly when I said, Father, can't I just please come home? I'm too tired. It's so hard to be here. Like, I remember that moment. Oh, gosh. So, I identified. Yeah, got a death wish. That's what this is about. But it's not fair because now I have a grandbaby and I want to be on this earth for. I didn't have grandparents. My grandfather, my dad's side, died when he was 6. The other one died when I was 3. On my mom's side, my mother's mom died when she was 5 months pregnant with me, and my grandfather died. He lived in Michigan, and I only saw him 3 times in my life, so I didn't really have that experience with grandparents. Now I was going to be a grandparent. Well, that sucks. I've got cancer, and I'm going to be a grandparent. It's like, kind of had my ticket off of the earth, right? And now I wanted to stay. It was kind of like a mean trick. Anyway, I came. Nobody was around me. I stayed in my daughter's apartment. I helped her as much as I could, keeping the apartment good. Well, 2 weeks before the birth. And I was here in St. George, Utah, and I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And there we have these temples that you can go to. Oh my gosh, there is a room inside that temple that is the most meditative, connected place that I have ever experienced on earth. And when I was back east, it took me 2.5 hours to get to one of these temples. Well, here in St. George, Utah, I was like 5 minutes away, so I could go, come back for lunch. It wasn't a day trip. So, I don't know, guys, when you're contemplating your own death and heaven and God, you kind of go to where He is. So, I remember one day I went to this temple, and on the way I had a conversation, and I said, look, you and I both know I'm homesick. And I've tried really hard not to have all this pain. I have tried so hard to be kind, to be blessed by you, and it's just too heavy, it's too much. And I'm homesick. I'm going to just admit it, I'm homesick. But I want to stay, because not just for the grandbaby, but for Tom and for Jaden and my kids. This is so frustrating. I need you to do something about this, Lord. I need you to do something about it. And so, in that very meditative, really holy, nothing but high vibration room. Oh my gosh, it's so incredibly beautiful and connecting. I sat there and I was mad. It's okay to be mad at God, by the way. I was mad. I was mad that I wanted to stay, but I wanted to go, and there was so much conflict in that. And so in that room, there are scriptures that are around that you can just grab and read and kind of connect with God that way. And I grabbed some scriptures. I was pretty sassy. I was really sassy. I opened up those scriptures and I go, all right, God, let's talk about this. And I was mad. And what happened was, because I was really seeking knowledge from Him, a conversation, not just who are you, but we got to talk. That's kind of the attitude I was in. I opened up the scriptures, and in this particular chapter, there were like 3 words that bounced out at me. They kind of hit me. And 3 words, phrases. One was Adam and Eve. The other was cherubim and the flaming sword. And the third was miserable. It's almost like they bolded. It's like where my eyes caught. Like I wasn't actually reading the text. It was just like those words. And I'm like, what? What do I need to know about those 3 words? And then the insight came. Sometimes, when I talk about this kind of thing, I'll say that I heard Him say, I don't actually hear a voice. It's like this thought comes into my mind, right? And this whole thought came in. And this is what it said. I placed cherubim and the flaming sword to guard the tree of life, because they were homesick. They loved the garden. The world was hard. And they knew where to reach out. They knew. And if they had reached out before their time was done, they would have been miserable, because they would have realized all that they did not do. And so will you. I just sat and contemplated that for a minute. It's kind of a big deal. When I was 17, I got this kind of special blessing, and in the blessing it told me that when my mortal life was concluded, I will have done all that I came here to do, and I'd be completely happy about the whole process. I thought that was a pretty good deal back when I was 17, but now what you're saying is you haven't done it all. You've not done everything you came here to do, and you're going to know who you didn't touch, what you didn't accomplish, and the ripples that didn't happen. You're going to know. So I got kind of sassy, kind of mad, because that's my relationship with Him. And I said, look, I hear you, and it's not fair. I mean, let's be really real here. I remember actually saying this. Let's be real. Summer camp is not what you told me it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be all fun and games, coming to this earth, having families, doing all the things. This, like, you sent me to the worst freaking summer camp that there is. Not really, because my life has been very good in that moment. That's what I felt. I'm like, there's leeches in the lake, and the mosquitoes are the size of birds, and it sucks. And then, now you're telling me that I can't even come home because something is going to bite me in the butt there. Like, where's my safety? And I made him a deal. I said, all right, look, I hear you. There are things you need me to do. And I heard this other thing. It was really interesting. It was, yeah, by the way, if you want to come home, I give you the choice. You can come home. You can, but like I said, you're going to be miserable. But I will make this quick and easy. It's cancer. I can make it really fast. You will not have to suffer. You can just come home. That is your choice if you would love to. And I went, all right, look, I will stay. I will stay and I will do what you're asking me to do, Lord. I will stay. But you got to take the homesick from me. I can't feel the pain of the world in the way that I do. I need you to take this homesickness and walk with me, stand with me, tell me what to do in order to beat this cancer. And I walked out of that temple and I didn't feel it anymore. I have twinges once in a while where I feel the pain of the world, but I don't feel it the same. Now I can just stand with people. There's this, I can feel you, I can hear you, I can see you. Most people can feel it when I'm there, and they know that they're being seen and they're being heard. And I don't have to carry the pain. So if you're an empath, it's what you do. You absorb people's energy. It is a gift from heaven. It is an agreement that you had with God, and you do not have to suffer. God has the capacity to help you to shift that, to transmute it, to discharge it from your body so that you can accomplish all that you came here to do on this earth. I'm sorry that you have felt so much junk and that it wasn't even yours, like the anger of someone else, their disappointment, their criticism, their all this stuff, guys. If you're an empath, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And there's hope, there's light, there's learning. Part of the Joyful Heart Mastery Program, the reason why I have that is because it's the skill set that God taught me to be joyful on this earth as an empath. There's a way. There's a way to navigate your emotions. There's a way to show up for others in a way that's real and authentic, and they feel it, and you don't have to get crushed by it. There's a way to be connected to God in a way that you can give Him all of that stuff so that you can stay happy and joyful on this earth and completely connected to the people that you're supposed to show up for. That's the Joyful Heart Mastery Experience. That's what I do. That's where it was born. That's why it was written, because I teach what I learned. That is also one of my gifts, and I have found now Joyful Heart Mastery was not even on the radar at all 6 years ago when I was in that room deciding whether or not I was going to stay on the earth. So, I had triple negative breast cancer. I had a lumpectomy. I had 8 lymph nodes removed because that's what I was inspired to do. And I denied chemo and I denied radiation. And in that 6 weeks of being in southern Utah in that little apartment, I asked the Lord to show me what do I need to do to get my body ready for what is about to happen. And in that process, I developed a eating protocol and supplements with God. I'd hear about a thing and I'd say, what about this? And I could feel whether it was a yes or whether it was a no. And I created a protocol and I pissed my surgeon off. They were really mad I wasn't going to do chemo or radiation, but I was pretty pretty clear when I heard about the chemo. They want you to wait like 3 months after you've had surgery to do the chemo, if you do the surgery first. And the surgeon told me, or the oncologist told me, that I had 75% chance of walking away, 25% chance it was going to come back, and that with chemo we could get that to an 11% chance. It was a 6-month really aggressive treatment. And I had a conversation with my husband, and I said, I don't know that 14% for what it's going to do to my body on the back end is going to be worth it. And then I'm really, really sensitive to medication. So when I had the surgery, they couldn't keep any pain meds down me. They'd give me some and I'd throw it up for the next 4 hours and all sorts of junk. And I, in this conversation with my husband, I go, gosh, if they can't keep pain meds down me, gosh, chemo is going to kill me. And it was like zing, right there. That was the truth. That the chemo was going to be too toxic for my body and I wouldn't handle it. So when in that very sacred meditative room, he said, I can make this quick and easy. You can just come home. I know it was the chemo. That would have killed me. Now, please know, I am not anti-chemo. I am not anti-alternative. I did have the surgery and I did build the protocol, but that was between me and God. That's another day. That's another thing. If you have any questions about that, or would like me to talk more about how I built that protocol and what I did to beat cancer, I'd be more than happy to talk on this live. Today, what I want to reiterate is that if you are an empath, you are a gift from heaven. If you are an empath, it is true you absorb people's emotions. If you're an empath, there is a savior for you too, not just you being the savior of everybody else to prove that you're worth it. He has the right to all of those emotions, and he would love to help you learn how to discharge, how to get rid of them, or how to turn them over to him so that you have a joyful life on this earth, connected to people, not hiding because you don't want to be around people, but actually connected and living and joyful. And I know how to teach you. Joyful Art Mastery is the program. So if you would love some training on how to manage this emotional state and stay present and stay grounded and stay happy and stay compassionate, stay empathetic, hit me up. Hit me up. So 12 weeks with me in coaching in a group setting where we all learn how to do this with each other and for each other. And it hits a whole lot more than just the empaths. It's a whole lot of stuff. So I would love to have you join me. I am out. I got to go get home. I have just done 5.5 miles. That means it's time to go home, and my 6 miles are in. And I love you. I would love comments. I would love questions. Let me know what you would love to talk about. Anything spiritually related, anything relationship related, anything kid related, anything addiction related. I got you. So send your comments, send your questions, and I will see you tomorrow.